Hello Internet, welcome back to our ToME series. Still Trilman the Dwarf Berserker. We actually did not level up in the last episode, although when I click there we can still see this class menu. I thought maybe we had gotten points and something had happened to the character button. What did we do? I've already forgotten. No, I took a break between episodes to eat my dinner. Oh, that's right, we solved a puzzle, which wasn't much of a puzzle. I feel like I made a Seinfeld joke about the man's ear. Remember, Kramer wanted to call it the bro, and Frank wanted to call it the man's ear. You remember Seinfeld from 30 years ago? I was a kid when Seinfeld went off the air. Actually, I have no idea. So, we don't want any of this. We've already moved the things we wanted into our inventory. Yes. So, go ahead and just click. Shouldn't have done this. Should have used our... Oh, it took us right out. Okay. Storming the city. We got a new quest. Storming the city. As you approached Derth, you saw a huge dark cloud over the small town. When you entered, you were greeted by an army of air elementals slaughtering the population. I haven't entered, though. So how do I know this when I haven't been to Derth? Is this Derth? No. Wasn't Derth on, like, the other side of this little continent? Okay, we'll head over that way, I guess. I think that's where Derth... Maybe this is Derth? Or was this like Lumberjacks? What is this? Zyger. Because you got to be careful how you say things on the internet, because the YouTube algorithm will jump at you and say that you said a bad word. So where is... Why can't I... Okay, let's... Up here. Here we go. Derth. It has storm over it. Okay. I assume we can handle this, otherwise it wouldn't have given us the quest. I don't know. You arrive in Derth, you notice a huge... Yep, screams, oh no. Extremely dark. Run, civilian, what are you doing? There's a hawk. Air elementals. That's our rage. Why are we so red, though? It didn't look like that before. Just our rage? Maybe because it... You've arranged lightning attack, huh? I thought you would be like melee only. We're gonna... There's nowhere we can go where they can't see us. Let's pop our heal. Let me get... I have a plastic bag in the way. Let's pop our resilience of the dwarves. And let's charge, because we don't have time to mess. We're dead. Shouldn't have done that. Connection to server. Yeah, my internet's been bad all day. We're gonna die. Really, it's just a question of how many times, because they're using their lightning bolt basically every turn, which is not good. Can our cloak? No, this is only lets us teleport towards enemies, blink randomly up to range 8. We could... No, because it's surrounded by water. I was going to say we could blink to one in the distance and hopefully get out of range of the others. You're a big boy too, huh? Ultimate Gwelgaroth. I'm a little irritated. They're only level 15 and 13. I guess technically our level is appropriate, but it just seems like this is a really bad situation for us. And we've already used our charge, which was a real mistake. I did not think there would be so much enemy density here. So I think really no good way to do this. This requires a turn. So if we activate our heal, I'm pretty sure we are just going to die, because we're going to take damage immediately. Reduce magical, physical effect, and reduce all damage taken by 18%. That's not going to be enough to save us. I'm pretty sure we're just going to die. So I think, unfortunately, Rod of Recall takes many turns to activate. We don't have a teleport. We don't have any more defensive abilities. We only have offensive. We could try to cone some of them to get them confused. I think our best bet is to back up. Let's look at our character screen. I think we do have lives, right? We have 3 lives left. So I think we need to start thinking about how to get away from here while losing minimum number of lives. So I think what we want to do is literally just start retreating. We're going to die. We have 82 health. We've used our instant heal. We've used our defensive ability. I think we just retreat. we're gonna die. When we revive, I assume we get full health. And then we will use that full health to retreat the remainder. I don't know if it will refresh our cooldowns or not, but we're gonna die. I don't think there's any way around that. And now we're in the open. This is a terrible place to fight because they have a ranged ability. We couldn't line of sight them out of and make them come around the corner to us. Same issue I complained about in the last dungeon, where even though I'm around a corner here, they can still see me from over here and lightning me, even though there's a barrier between us. So I'm a little frustrated by that. Charging out here in the open was foolish. That's 100% on me. Can't really blame that. So let's stop talking. Let's go die. Unable to move. Of course. Of course we're unable to move. We're dazed, and we have infusions, and we have a hurricane doing 19 to 57 lightning damage to itself and others around it every turn. I feel really unequipped to handle this, despite being the appropriate level. I did not expect such a significant... We pop our infusion hoping to cure our pinning. Nothing happened that turn? Oh, it's instant. But it did not clear our daze. We're still... I mean, we fight to the death. And the game lags, which I assume means I'm being killed and taken to the Eidolon plane. Hello, you. Elite boss, level 200, invulnerable. We did get our full health. Cooldowns did not pop, so what we're going to do is wait for our cooldowns to come back so that we can charge as soon as we get back in. We did lose a life, a little frustrating, because again, I feel like I kind of got thrown into that without really being prepared for the level of difficulty we were going to experience. Movement is 3 times as slow. Any melee or archery blows have a chance to knock back. I assume you can fight this guy. I saw something about an achievement where if you die on this plane of existence, we're not going to do that. Let's... For you stands. Yes, thank you. I will rest for a while. I'm ready to go back. I fear I will not survive anyway. Can you send me back somewhere else? That would be great. We didn't get that option before, did we? I think it was just wait, go back, or stop reviving me. So yes, please send me anywhere else would be fine. So again, a little frustrated by how that went. But it did cost us a life, which is not great. I don't know the rate at which we gain lives. You can find extra lives, total number of lives. I thought it would say how many we get. I think it has something to do with it being our class. Each time, no, that's experience. Dwarf, it doesn't say anything up there. Okay. Yeah, feel a little bit blindsided by the difficulty there. We're not going to go there for the time being. Maybe even for a while. Unless we find a bunch of resist gear for electricity, because really they just handed me my ass on a platter, and that's not great. So let's talk to this kid. Sorry, I have to go. You asked me for... I don't understand this quest. So this is the second time that we've come... No, not... Oh, we can look at our achievements? Okay. Neat. But no, we don't want to do that. Let's look at quests. No, that's the J button. Right here. Apprentice, collect an artifact arcane-powered item. This is the second time I've come to him with stuff that's arcane. Like here, we have powered by arcane forces, and it's clearly an artifact of some caliber, right? It's not yellow, but we've been here before with yellow that I think was arcane-powered. Or are they all unknown? I don't know, but it's really irritating because I don't know. Maybe these aren't artifacts like I think they are. Maybe it's not arcane forces. Maybe it's something different. But it's kind of frustrating because it's not really giving me very much. Maybe it's very basic and every other player in the world knows what it is, but I'm just dumb. That's always a possibility. Alright, so let's find somewhere else to go. Actually, we should clear our inventory. Yeah, let's go to... Well, we can't because that town is overrun. Let's go to any other town. There was one back this way. So what can we talk about? Well, not Seinfeld. Seinfeld went off the air when I was like 10. But I've seen like every episode of Seinfeld, so like sometimes stuff pops in my head, like the man's ear, or like every Christmas I usually say something like, "Where's your Festivus pole?" And then people look at me like, "What?" New birth power, Zigguranth, Zyger. I'm gonna call them Zyger from now on, and I'm try to remember that. Zygguranth sacrifice. You have discovered Zyger, the bastion of nature, fighting against all arcane magics. Magic has caused so much pain and suffering in the world it needs to stop. All your new characters will now be able to betray arcane escort quests to send them to Zyger, granting new different rewards. That's pretty messed up. Like, doesn't that mean basically if I meet a guy who's like a mage, instead of helping him, I would send him here to presumably be like burned at the stake? Actually, we found lore that said it's best to cut them into pieces, which is not great. So I don't know that we'll be doing that, but okay. Rules of the Zygguranth. You will not talk about Zyger to the wider world, lest evil ears be listening. Rule number 2. You do not talk about Zyger to the wider... Okay, it's a Fight Club joke. Do you get that? Ed Norton, Brad Pitt. Greatest movie of all time. You will shun the use of all spells and witchcraft. You will shun the use of magic cursed items. You will shun the baneful influence of arcane runes and burn any skin that comes in contact with them. You will not aid or abet any that you suspect. Okay, let's try this again. You will not aid or abet any you suspect of wizardry or conjuration. You will take note of any you suspect of spell weaving and report their name and address to the elders. You will actively hunt down and bring suffering upon any you suspect of using magic, communing with spirits, demon worship, or any you suspect of aiding others in these acts. You will report to the elders all activity you deem suspicious, especially evidence of cults or secret society. Dark God. Avast ye matey, 'tis pirate day. You got new talent learnt, check it out. Okay. You just gave me a free talent, I guess. Thank you, sir. I'm enjoying your game. Let's click to close. You report... I already read this. Secret societies. These are rules we live by. These are the rules by which we will save our world. All who fail in these rules will be purged with flame. Big on the whole burning people to death, huh? Unfortunately, we have a lot of equipment that is magical, and I'm curious if they will be aware of that simply by being in our arcane force, psionic forces. I'm curious if they will be aware of that simply by being around us, which would be really bad. Also, is there dual wielding in this? I see we have a shield slot, but it doesn't specify if we can wield or wear a secondary item. It doesn't matter. Anyway, talent point, huh? Talent. Click. Dirty fighting, maybe? Oh, my throat today. I'm coughing a lot. He said there's a new category. Maybe he meant there's been a new category added to the game and not actually to my skill list, because I think the dirty fighting we actually already had. So I don't know what that message was. We keep getting messages. The last couple episodes we've gotten some. That's the second one we've gotten, and I don't know. I assume it's just a way for him to speak to all... Oh! Yar! Plunder booties. Instantaneous, 100% of a turn, 10 cooldown. It does not say... I don't understand. Why do I have this? How do I look at this? Talents? Yar. It doesn't say anything. It just says other. Okay, you're a strange fella, sir, but I'm enjoying your game. So I guess we can just go in here without any concern. Go ahead and sell this junk. We don't actually need... We'll sell the drum arm because we're not going to be... So here, it raises a question about this particular game. Some games require you to kind of carry multiple sets of equipment. Like way back in the day, NetHack required you to have a lot of fire resistance in order to progress through the game. And so it usually was prudent to hang on to fire resist gear and things like that. Was it NetHack? Was it Angband? I don't remember, but some games require you to kind of think outside the box and carry additional equipment with you that you will swap out as necessary. Like we bumped into those air elementals. It would be prudent for us to maybe hang on to shock resistant gear for the time being so that we can go back and hand them their asses on a platter instead of us having that done to us. So, is it valuable to hang on to an item that gives us 100% disarm immunity, or is it not? Because, like, that probably requires some amount of metagame knowledge. Like, if I'm familiar enough with the monsters to know what gives a lot of disarm, or rather, what monsters try to disarm you a lot, then is it even really, like, is this going to do me any good if I don't know? And I don't think it does. I don't think it does. Drop the pickaxe as well. Tooth of the Mouth, we have replaced with a superior pickaxe. Get rid of that. I don't think there's any benefit to hanging on to these. You know, I tend to collect, like if we had a home base area, I would just throw them in our house because I'm a big fan of collecting lots of neat little things, like a severed arm, for instance. But I don't think that's the case in this game. And we saved these because we thought that it would be better than, because it would give us that quest, basically, to finish that quest. But that's not been the case, so we'll go ahead and sell everything. And I guess we could look and see if they have, these are daggers. We don't want daggers. We want big two-handed weapons. Lore found, dedication. It is said that the preferred weapon of the Krog is a mace in one hand and a sword in the other. One hand to spread the message of the Zygguroth of the Krog. The other to see that the message through to the end. I don't get it. The mace symbolizes the Krog's willingness to endure until the final blow is struck against the arcane. Commonly, the mace would be used to batter a mage senseless, thus preventing them from being able to cast their spells. Well, that's neat and all, but I'm not a mace guy. I'm like a two-handed massacre guy. Weapon mace, yeah, just no. I wanted like great swords or something. A lot of, what is this? Lava pit. Okay, I guess where they burn the folks they don't like. And a giant rock. Special breathing method required. Why? Oh, because it's a wall, I guess? No, it's floor. Maybe it acts as a wall, so we would need... Because if we hover the wall, it says special breathing method required. I don't know. What is this? I mean, I have no idea what to think of this. But I can tell you I'm not going to spend 1,000 gold to buy books. Lore book. Yeah, maybe another time. Light armor, no. Actually, belts, we could do with a better belt. There are no... Actually, some nice gloves. What does ours look like? And of course, I assume none of these things would use magic. They would be different. Arcane disrupting forces. That makes sense. They're anti-magic, which is cool. Leather gloves, though, I would rather have metal gloves. 7 accuracy seems pretty good. Armor penetration, physical power, armor... To reduce effective powers, arcane resources. I mean, it seems really good, but I don't know enough about it. I think I'd rather stick to heavy armor. I don't know enough about the game. Of command, radiant, no. Spiked, we want spiked. It gives 11 damage, hit back, 9 armor, 9 defense. Seems really good. Plus 2 cunning is meaningless. 12 mental save. I mean, it's not meaningless, of course, but let's look. I've already forgotten what I was going to look at. Damage. Let's look at our inventory. I know you probably hate this. You probably hate seeing me do this. 9 armor plus 4 defense. 10. Yeah, I think we'll just hang on to what we have. Let's, okay, maybe they have big two-handed weapons. War axes, no, are small one-handed. Steel battle axe. I think battle axe is what we're looking for. Two-handed battle axe. So if we see any good... I mean, we already have a pretty good two-handed... Great sword of purging. Let's look. Better damage. Let's look again at our weapon. I know you probably don't like this, but... yeah, basic, not very much stuff added to this. The main thing that we get is the Shattering Blow talent. So if we find something that deals more damage and has more passive bonuses, the plus 7 armor penetration is the best thing that is here. 154 gold. Weapons mastery, plus 2 armor penetration. It is better flat damage. 25% chance to remove a magical effect. Seems pretty good. Plus 12 nature damage on top of the damage it deals. Yeah, I think we're going to buy this. Plus 10 accuracy also seems very good. Plus 10 armor penetration. Yeah, this thing seems great. We're going to buy this. And we're going to replace our tree trunk. Even though I like carrying around basically a tree trunk, this just seems like a really good sword. Specifically because it has 12 nature damage attached to its physical damage. And it gives plus 10%. We basically better chance to penetrate their resistance as well as armor penetration. It gives accuracy. It's better flat damage. There's just a lot about it that I like. So I do think that that's an improvement. And again, because we are a melee focused class, we are extremely gear dependent, I would imagine. The higher our damage output, the more likely we are to survive any given situation. The higher our armor protection is, the more likely we are to survive any given situation, etc. Grim-looking fighter stands there clad in mail armor and a large olive cloak. He does not appear to be hostile. His sword is sheathed. Brother, our guild has been watching you, and we believe that you have potential. We see that the hermetic arts have always been at the root of each and every trial this land has endured. And we also see that one day they will bring about our destruction. So we have decided to take action by calling upon nature to help us combat those who wield the arcane. We can train you, but you need to prove you are pure, untouched by the eldritch forces, and ready to fight them to the end. You'll be challenged against magical foes. Should you defeat them, we will teach you our ways, and never again will you be able to be tainted by magic or use it. Completing this quest will forever prevent this character from using spells or items powered by arcane forces. That sounds awful. I don't want that. In exchange, you'll be given access to a mind power-based generic talent tree. Man, I can't read. Anti-magic, and be able to unlock hidden properties in many arcane disrupting items. See, here it says... you never again will you be able to be tainted by magic. That made me think we would get like 100% magic resistance, which admittedly was an absurd thought that I had. It doesn't make a lot of sense. But that doesn't seem to be the case. It seems like he's speaking from his perspective, like being tainted by magic is to use magic. This sounds awful because it seems like a lot of items are powered by arcane forces. Obviously, magic doesn't mean much to us. I'm guessing this would be for a class that is maybe nature-based. We see a lot of references to nature, especially in this town. Maybe like if they have druids or rangers, those sort of people. Or alternatively, because it mentions mind powers, maybe there's a psionic class or two or whatever. So this does not really interest me. Again, because we're so gear-dependent, we're already not finding very many improvements on our current equipment. And if we lock out an entire section of artifacts, which would be the arcane-powered artifacts, we're just even more limiting what we will and will not be able to use. So, nope. Very well. I will say that this is disappointing, but it is your choice. Farewell. Yep. So sorry, mate. Not for me. Let's check. Oh. Are you hostile? Please don't be hostile. Killed by you. What does it say? Hostility? Friendly. Okay, the Zyger faction. Halfling Zygeranth clad in dark steel plates. She is the current leader of Zyger. There's a little speech bubble. It's very small and hard to see. I don't know if you'll be able to see that on mobile, but I guess that means you have a quest for me. Halfling woman stands before you clad in dark steel plate. Take the test and then we can talk. But, so she wants me to be part of her faction. No, thank you. I would close the door in your face, but I don't know how to close doors in this game. Anything else? What is this? Infusions. We might be able to... Yeah, our regen infusion could use some improvement. It only restores 72 life over 5 turns, which is about 13-ish points per turn, which is god-awful when you have 500 hit points. So really, anything better than that. Regen of the Duelist... 203 life over 5 turns. That seems way better. Scales with dex as well, which we have a fair bit of dex. This does not scale, but it gives us a flat 150. Yeah, we'll go for the dex. The dex scaling one. Click. Yes, buy, please. And we will replace our current regen. Make sure this is regen and I'm not an idiot. Good. Regeneration, yes. Use. We will replace our current regen. And now you'll see 203 life over 5 turns. So we're regaining about 40 hit points per turn, which is great. Which is a much bigger number than, 12 or 13. Yep. What was I talking about? Probably nothing. Oh, Seinfeld. Yeah, who cares? Nobody cares about Seinfeld. Netflix just picked up Seinfeld, the rights to run the Seinfeld series, which is means nothing. Are you chasing me? Saving done? No, you're just hanging out. Okay, let's, we had an encounter before where they were hostile. Hidden compound. Well, that sounds like a cult. I'm good. Let's head over this way. We haven't explored yet. Cannot head down there. I don't know how we would access that location. Maybe if we put on the water breathe. Oh no! Oh crap! I sold the water breathing helmet. Damn it! That was. I was saving that for that one thing we found that was in the middle of a lake. A mysterious hole in the beach. That sounds like a giant digger type creature, like sandworms maybe. Oh wait a minute. Didn't we need sandworms? For Into the Darkness? Explore the sandworm layer and find out what lurks there and what treasures are to be gained. Well, that sounds great. Let's, actually remember when we found dungeons that we couldn't escape from? We'll just go in. Hopefully we can retreat if necessary. We can. Ladder to the world map. It didn't give us any messages about being dangerous. And those are definitely sandworms. Invulnerable. Sandworm seems to not care about your presence at all and simply continues digging its way through the sand. Following it is the only way to move around here. Oh, don't give me weird dungeon dynamics. Invulnerable. So I have to walk where you walk, I guess. Oh, no, it's just, it lied to me. Following it is the only way to move around here. But I can move around. Unfettered. Oh, it's digging through the walls. Gotcha, okay. So in order to progress, we would have to let them eat up the walls. Wild Infusion has evolved. Primal Infusion. Primal Infusion? 13? I don't understand. Has evolved. What? Primal Infusion. Activate the infusion to cure yourself of one magical, physical, or mental effect and increase affinity. What is affinity? For all damage by 13%. Scales with Constitution, which is great because we have a lot of con. Cross-tier effects. So it seems like it's this, but better. 18%. I don't know what affinity. Let's character sheet. Affinity. No. Attack. No. Defense. Sorry, I'm sure you're laughing at me, but damage affinities. Doesn't say. All damage of this type that you receive through any means. That's not for this. That's for resistance. Okay, so it does not say what the damage affinities mean, but it cures physical, magical, or mental, but only one. How many does this cure? One random magical or physical. Reduce all damage by 18% versus increase damage affinity by 13%. I wish I knew what that meant. I assume affinity means we're better at it. So this would make us more competent. We would deal more damage. Either way, it's gold and it seems like it has some neat stuff going on. So I think we're going to use this. Move to normal inventory. Use. You reach your maximum number. I mean, it said upgrade. I thought maybe it would upgrade. Replace our wild infusion with it. Primal infusion. I wish I knew what that meant. But anyway, we should probably call the episode here. In fact, is this the downstairs? So what's the point of this? Whatever. We'll figure that out in the next episode. For now, it's going to do it. Thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed the episode. If you did, maybe consider liking, commenting, and subscribing. And I, of course, will be back with more ToME content pretty often during the week, at least 4 times a week. And I will see you in the next episode.